Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about what my experience has been like driving for DoorDash. So, I think the best way I can talk about my experience with driving for DoorDash is by talking about the pros and cons for driving for DoorDash. The first pro I like to talk about is the flexible work schedule. This is probably the most convenient thing about DoorDash or any of these gig type jobs is that you can work whenever you want to. Although I should note that this can sometimes depend on what market you're in. For instance, if you're in Atlanta, odds are it's going to be busy pretty much all the time because it's a bigger city compared to some of the smaller cities that aren't in, metropolitans. The second pro that I'd like to talk about is you can accept or decline any delivery request you want to. This is a useful feature because if someone doesn't want to tip one day and they want you to go 10 miles out just to do delivery, then you're going to be losing money because you're going to be paying more in gas as opposed to the amount that they're going to give you for actually doing the delivery. So it's a good feature that you can just accept or decline whatever ride that you want or don't want. And I would suggest using this feature because I save money and time for not going out 10 miles just for $3. The third pro I like to talk about is you don't have to worry about keeping a clean car like you do when you're driving for a rideshare company such as Lyft or Uber. Let's be honest, if you drive for a rideshare company, you are well aware of how much dirt people bring in when they come and sit down in your car, or sometimes if they're eating or they have something in their hand, odds are they're probably going to leave food particles or some trash in your car, and you have to just be mindful of that. But when you're doing delivery, odds are you're the only one that's going to be in your car at all times. The other pro I like to talk about is you don't have to worry about adjusting your car, AC or radio when delivering food since you're not going to be picking up the passengers. This is useful because you only have to worry about accommodating yourself and no one else. This next section I would like to talk about the cons of driving for DoorDash. So the first one is, although you don't have to work during specific times to work for DoorDash, it is in your best interest to sort of schedule your work shifts during the times where there are the most demand. If you work during specific times when there is the greatest demand, you're going to get paid additional money for working during that busy time. Those are called promos or promotions. The next one I'd like to talk about is sometimes it's hard to find parking. Most of the time you will find parking at the restaurant you're picking the food up from. However, you don't have as much luck finding parking when you arrive at the customer place. If they live on top of an apartment building in the downtown area of a major city, you may have to find parking in a parking garage, and that can be kind of inconvenient. What can be an even worse situation is if you're in an area where there are parking restrictions and the customer doesn't want to meet you outside but want you to find some magical way to deliver the food to their doorsteps. Here's a note to DoorDash customers. Be considerate to your DoorDashers, because if you live in a place with little to no parking available, just meet your delivery person at his or her car. That helps everybody out. The delivery person can hurry up and rush on to their next delivery, and then you can just get your food at the most convenient time. Another issue I've had with DoorDash is poor tipping. And this brings me back to the pro that I was talking about, which is you can accept or decline any ride that you want. If you find that the person is not tipping that well, and you are only going to get paid, $3 for going 10 miles out, then my suggestion to you is to decline that request. I've learned to not accept every delivery request. So, for instance, if the pay is under $5, and if the payout for the delivery is well below $1 per mile, I do not accept the job. This brings me to my next con. If you have a poor delivery acceptance rate, meaning if you decline a bunch of delivery requests, you could miss out on being a top DoorDasher. I haven't had the chance to really verify this yet, but a top DoorDasher is supposed to have more opportunities to make more money. I do know that they prioritize who is allowed to work during the not so busy times. So if you're a top DoorDasher, you are more likely to be able to work during those times that the demand is low. And like I said, you only really have to worry about low demand if you are in a smaller city or if you're not in a metropolitan. And the last con I would like to say is you can waste time waiting for customers to respond back to you. So let's say you are dashing one day and a customer requests that you go to CVS to do shopping, and you accept that trip. So you go to CVS and you look for the products, but not all the products are there. Sometimes they might have a similar product, and you can just contact your customer and say, hey, they don't have a 30-ounce bottle of Gatorade, but they have a 24-ounce bottle of Gatorade. Would that be okay? 9 times out of 10, the customers say, yeah, that's fine. But the hard part is getting in contact with the customer. I always start off by texting the customer, and if they don't reply back, then I'll give them a phone call just to expedite the process. So I would like to say thank you again for watching my YouTube video about my pros and cons for driving for DoorDash. And what I would like to say is, if you're interested in driving for DoorDash and you want to make some extra money, I would say go ahead and use my referral code. And after you give a certain number of rides, you'll actually receive a guaranteed amount of money for doing those deliveries within 30 days or so. And odds are you're going to make more money by using this referral code. In order to access my referral code, all you have to do is copy and paste and go to the website that I have linked down in the description box below. So good luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on this video, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Oh, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to show your support for this channel possible. Thank you again, and until next time, see you soon.